Good evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Thursday, July 13, 2023. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Members of PSC sworn in by President Ali. New location likely as GPHC to be redeveloped into modern standalone facility. Increased security, 24-hour water taxis in place as Demerara Harbor Bridge set to close. 85 murders, 68 road deaths recorded for 2023 thus far, says GPF. 2 men get life imprisonment for raping teenage girls. And GPF dishes out $133.1 million in awards to ranks. Now for the news in detail. The 6 members of the Public Service Commission were on Thursday sworn in by President Dr. Irfan Ali, who reiterated that their role is critical to the development of a reliable, efficient, and transparent public sector, needed amid Guyana's ongoing transformation. Pooja Rambran has the details in this report.
The newly appointed PSC members are Maniram Prashad, Maurice Gajadar, Melsita Bovell, Chandrawati Ramson, Mohandat Golsaran, and Janice Bowen. The Commission is a constitutional body responsible for overseeing the public service in Guyana. Its composition and functions are outlined in Articles 200 to 205, as stated in Article 135, Section 1 of the Constitution. President Ali on Thursday congratulated the new members on their 3-year appointment and advised them on their duties.
The newly sworn-in members of the Commission are tasked with an important responsibility to ensure that the public service is populated by persons who possess the necessary skills, knowledge, and experience to service the people and to propel the country's development. The Government of Guyana recognizes and respects the need of an independent and impartial Public Service Commission. The Commission can be assured that there will be no political interference in the discharge of its mandate. The Government remains, as always, committed to creating an environment where the Commission can discharge its function without fear or favor.
He noted that this PSC is coming at a time of rapid transformation in the country.
In the direction our country is going, in a massive transformation, transparency, accountability, efficiency, reliance, and credibility of our public sector is very, very important. This Public Service Commission is coming at a time of grand transformation of our country, and at a time in which that transformation requires a shift in the cultural makeup of the public service. And what is that cultural shift? The cultural shift is the way we approach our work, the thinking, because there must be structural and monumental changes for us to achieve the type of output that we want to achieve.
The President added that the government is in turn moving aggressively to implement a menu of measures to ensure the public service has better standards of living and increased access to opportunities.
The Public Service Commission is thus tasked with making appointments, effecting dismissals, and exercising disciplinary control over public servants.
In ensuring the high quality and efficiency of public service, the President disclosed the Cabinet's plans to establish basic standards across all public services, as well as a central mechanism for monitoring these services.
In every center or every facility that delivers public service, there will be some numbers there that persons can call in to a national call center and report on the way they were treated, or report on how they felt about the service. And that will go against the providers of the service in performance evaluation. That is the system that we are discussing now with Cabinet.
The long-awaited swearing-in of this new PSC now paves the way for the full complement of members of the Judicial Service Commission and the Police Service Commission. Pooja Rambran for the Evening News.
We are now joined by Davina Samaru, who reports that in what might be the largest ever health project in the Caribbean, the Guyana government is working on a plan to redevelop the country's premier public health care institution, the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, into a modern standalone facility. This could see the new state-of-the-art building being moved to a different location.
The Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation currently occupies an entire block in Georgetown that is bordered by Newmarket, Lamaha, Thomas, and East Streets, with several auxiliary arms situated in close proximity. The hospital's oldest section, the Seaman's Ward, was constructed in the 1800s, but over the years there have been various additions and upgrades, creating a structure that is considered to be fragmented and inefficient. But with the Guyana government on a mission to develop a world-class healthcare sector, this situation needs to change.
Plans are on the way to redevelop the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation with a new standalone hospital, which is likely to be the biggest ever health project in CARICOM.
President Dr. Irfan Ali during a press conference on Wednesday. While no other information on this initiative was provided during the press conference, this newscast was reliably informed that authorities are currently developing concepts for the new hospital. After the conceptual plan is completed, Cabinet will have to make certain decisions, like whether to stay on site or move to another location. Whatever the case, it was noted that the current infrastructural configuration of the GPHC needs to be improved. Meanwhile, President Ali, during his press conference, boasted of the many achievements made by the GPHC over the last few years.
More than 250 interventional treatments, whether it's echo, stents, angiograms, for heart diseases, done each month at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation by GPHC doctors. And we expect to introduce regular open heart surgery for adults this year. 12 children benefited from open heart surgery this year so far. 12. From 2024, we expect to increase to more than 40 children per year. Guyana will complete its first pediatric transplant in October and its first cadaveric transplant in November.
Reporting for the Evening News, Davina Samaru.
Here is Davina Samaru once again, this time to report that in addition to strengthening existing areas of cooperation between Guyana and China, during his upcoming state visit to the East Asian country later this month, President Dr. Irfan Ali is hoping to foster new partnerships with the world's second largest economy.
The Guyanese head of state is slated to visit China later this month. Speaking to reporters during a press conference on Wednesday, he disclosed some areas of mutual interest that will likely come up for discussions during his engagements with Chinese officials.
In addition to our national transformative plan that we are discussing with all our bilateral partners, we also have climate, energy, and food security as key areas and key topics for discussion with China. As I said to you, all of you here, that we are looking to provide global leadership. And global leadership requires us communicating with all our partners what we want to achieve, where we see things, and to share ideas. We have also common bilateral and multilateral concerns that we'll be discussing, I'm sure.
President Ali also expressed optimism of the two countries exploring new areas of cooperation.
Our agenda has some specifics, but also it is broad enough to look at new areas of cooperation, including technology and security.
Already, President Ali had disclosed plans to discuss with China financing for the completion of the Lethem to Mabura Hill Road project. Last year, Guyana and China celebrated 50 years of bilateral relations. Over the years, agreements such as the Joint Commission of Trade signing, the 2001 Trade Agreement, the 2003 Investment Agreement, and the 2018 Memorandum of Understanding on the Belt and Road Initiative have strengthened the economic relations between the two countries. Reporting for the Evening News, Davina Samaru.
As the three-day closure of the Demerara Harbor Bridge approaches, Public Works Minister Bishop Juan Edgel revealed several initiatives that will be implemented to mitigate the potential impacts caused by this disruption. Pooja Rambaran has the details in this report.
This closure is scheduled to start on July 24th at 11:59 hours and end on July 27th at 11:59 hours. It is aimed towards facilitating the replacement of span 9 on the bridge. An extended bridge closure, to be announced soon, is also expected next Tuesday from midnight to around 3 hours to prepare for this installation. In the 3-day non-operational period, Minister Edgell noted that there will be a 24-hour presence of licensed water taxis working at their usual fares.
We anticipate the police, with their expertise in not just in law enforcement, but in terms of logistics, will be working with the bridge to ensure that we can get that going. We have monitors who work regularly to ensure there is order, and we will have to step in with more monitors, and I'm saying it publicly. Any person who is caught exploiting the situation of the close of the bridge by demanding higher fares, we're going to have to do stronger penalties by revoking their license to operate, because we can't allow people to do things like that and hurt a population while we're trying to deal with a national situation to make life better for all of us.
These will be managed by the Maritime Administration Department, MARAD, and equipped with life vests and necessary safety features. He noted that there will also be enhanced lighting on both sides of the river to provide adequate protection and minimize robberies. For persons experiencing medical emergencies, a 24/7 water ambulance will also be on standby throughout this period to transport those requiring advanced care to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, GPHC. Meanwhile, for those traveling out of the country, Edgell noted plans to engage with various airlines to extend their check-in times.
The airlines may want to consider an extended check-in period to facilitate people who may want to go to the airport earlier than is anticipated, so they could check in, and rather than be sitting out in the parking lot because they wanted to get there earlier, they could have the facilities of the lounge in the airport as well, so that we could make that. So that's one stakeholder and one suggestion that we're putting out there.
The minister also advised distributors of goods and fuels to ensure they have adequate supplies to carry them through the 3-day period. Meanwhile, he remarked that there are no set plans for alternative garbage disposal, and as such, citizens will have to prepare for this as well.
Household garbage, we want to alert all citizens, ensure that you have adequate supplies of garbage bags so that you can store, tie, and keep your garbage until the trucks are able to pick it up.
This new $1.2 billion retractor aims to provide a much smoother operation and enable wider vessels to pass through the channel. Industrial Fabrications Incorporated, INFAB, will be undertaking this upcoming installation. Pooja Rembrandt for the Evening News.
The Guyana Police Force on Thursday distributed $133.1 million in awards to ranks as a means of rewarding them for their stellar performances. Here are the details from Rupa Sinarayan.
At this year's annual anniversary awards ceremony on Thursday, the monetary distribution moved up from $81.5 million last year to $133.1 million in 2023. Deputy Commissioner Administration Calvin Brutus indicated that 4,291 persons were awarded as opposed to 3,421 last year. The number of special awards also moved up from 800 to 1,051. Ranks from the 12 regional divisions, CID Headquarters, Tactical Services Unit, Office of Professional Responsibility, and Commissioners General Registry were among those who benefited.
With regards to special awards, we see an increase of 251, being 800 last year and 1,051 this year. Certificates for the community policing group, both individual and members, 122 last year, 204 this year, an increase of 82. And the general incentives in terms of cash, last year $81,560,000, compared to this year $133,150,000.
The CID was awarded for their input in solving the murder of truck driver Kerry Sears at Eccles Dumpsite Road, the double murder of Johnson Bowen and Manuel Dos Santos at Linden during a home invasion, the discovery of remains of Police Constable Quincy Lewis, the murder of popular teacher and comedian Kerwin Mars, the murder-robbery of businessman Shimron Adams, among others. Efforts in narcotics seizures, the Madhya dorm fire, and trafficking in persons were also acknowledged. However, as the force remains resolute in upholding law and order, the top cop posited that there is a zero-tolerance policy for any officer who breaches the standard operating procedures.
Ethical standards, professionalism, they are considered hallmark, and there will be non-acceptance, non-tolerance for members of the force at all levels, at any level, who breach SOPs and procedures. You are employed to serve and not to be served. I said it at the route march. I'm going to reiterate the point here. Our days to be sitting in the offices, long gone. That is not contemporary policing. Your duty as commanders and head of departments are to ensure the ranks under your command interact with the public. The public is who we were designed to serve. We were established to serve. And so you will continue to build those bridges. You will redevelop relationship with communities.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Police Force is also on the verge of establishing a monitoring and evaluation unit to ensure transparency, a police reform committee to drive change management, and a risk management unit to deal with strengths and weaknesses. It will also be restructuring the auditing unit to hold officers in key positions accountable. Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
Coming up, 85 murders, 68 road deaths recorded for 2023 thus far, says GPF, and 2 men get life imprisonment for raping teenage girls. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Turbo Energy Drink rolling out the Turbo Hot Summer Wheels promotion. Win a brand new 2023 Honda HR-V plus over $3 million in weekly cash and prizes. Just grab any bottle of Turbo Energy Drink, Buster or Classic, and locate the 8-digit code on the bottle. Then visit Turbo IG and Facebook at Turbo_Caribbean. For more details, conditions apply.
The Quarantine Highway from Palmyra to Crabwood Creek Region 6 is being upgraded and widened to improve the lives of thousands of Guyanese. Some $27.7 billion is going towards the widening of the structures along the carriageway to accommodate a 4-lane highway and to relocate utilities. Oil revenues are being channeled into Ghana's development and is benefiting infrastructural projects such as
Hare Krishna, ISKCON of Guyana Hare Krishna Study Center presents Ratha Yatra 2023. Join us for 4 days of grand celebration starting from July 13 to July 16, 2023. We'll have lots of family activities, ecstatic kirtan, sumptuous prasadam, enlightening spiritual discourses, and fun dramas. Join us for this spiritual festival and experience the joy of devotion. For more information, contact us on WhatsApp on 646-3101 or 641-3882. See you there. Hare Krishna.
Fuck off. The Oreos belong to us.
No, they belong to whoever finds them first.
Get your Oreo Transformers Limited Edition and awaken the beast.
If they actually need the roads that are being built.
Yeah, ready? We are so far.
Look along, me tell you, buy one generator. Now the picnic online test and blackout come and cut off everything.
Sorry, son. Radhika. Are we go tomorrow?
Are we go now?
At Sylvie's, we stock products from more than 22 different sectors in mining, construction, food processing, vulcanizing, home improvements, and more.
Are you getting generator?
So this is a 3000 better star generator. This will work for your lights, your fan, your TV, and your fridge.
Well, Abby can buy one for Abby and
Yes.
Abby can buy one for Mommy too.
Yeah, and mommy could even key start it, cause all you have to do is hook up the battery and
Visit us today at 31 High in Hatfield Street, where our friendly and knowledgeable team members are willing to assist you. You can also call us on 227-6243 or WhatsApp us on 623-7755 and drop by our website at www.sylviesonline.com.
Abby go buy one doll pulling mill?
One plucking machine, one pressure washing machine, one juice dispenser, one engine, one pepper grinding machine, one water pump, one sugar cane juicer, circle sir. We gotta get, alright, them that food warmer. We gotta get, what are you looking at?
If you want real energy, just say nah, if you got on too. Good source of iron for me and for you, make you feel like say you have energy for two. Money make a man flex with you and your crew work late or left the gym after two. Vigatan tonic the remedy for some man for sue. So say nah, if you got on too. Vigatan. From your new energy you are defend. Just say nah, if you got on then. Strong up your body, drink and come again. Vigatan 2 are the remedy, my friend.
Vigatan 2, good source of vitamin and iron for you.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. Acting Commissioner of Police Clifton Hicken has reported that all categories of serious crimes are at a minus for the year 2023 thus far, except for the murder rate, which has been hiked by a whopping 37%. Cognizant of increasing traffic fatalities, he also announced plans to curtail such trends. Rupasina reports.
At the Ghana Police Force's annual anniversary awards ceremony on Thursday, the acting top cop disclosed that there has been a reduction in serious crimes by 12.6%. With 68 firearms seized, there was a 13.3% increase in the overall confiscation of such weapons.
With the exception of murder, that would have increased by 37%, that is 85 as against 62 for the period comparatively. All other categories of serious crime is at a negative or a minus. Give yourself a round of applause.
There were 54 deaths in 2022 from accidents, which has increased to 68 in 2023. As a consequence of the increasing trend, Hicken said the force plans to address this in a holistic manner, with a traffic plan to be implemented within the coming month.
Within the next 2-3 weeks, you're going to see a traffic plan rolled out focusing on education, signage along the route, and enforcement, of course. And so, deriving from within the next week, we're going to have a symposium that will address some of the issues deriving from the officers' conference. And so we understand that we have challenges in relation to traffic and road users, but we have a plan that will roll out which will incorporate other stakeholders, and so the police will not be working in isolation in that regard.
However, as the force rebrands and retools its machinery in keeping with the Strategic Plan 2022 to 2026, one of the main targets has been to achieve a modernized and contemporary organization. The acting police commissioner reassured that the Ghana Police Force is now in a better position to tackle crime and that police stations across the country are now equipped to respond to reports, not just for commercial areas, but at the community level.
We are in a position now, the evidence of the reduction of crime by 12.6%, but more importantly, the stations are now equipped with the tools to respond to reports and occurrences. We are not just going to focus on the commercial areas or the corporate hub, but we are focusing heavily in the communities. We're focusing heavily on following up occurrences made by the average person on a daily basis.
On the hindsight of the government's rapid infrastructural push, Haken also recognized the importance of meeting these demands by relocating and introducing new facilities. Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
Mark Samuels, 32, father of two and resident of Sophia, Greater Georgetown, who was found guilty of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2021, has been sentenced to life imprisonment by Justice Navindra Singh on Thursday. He becomes eligible for parole after serving 30 years. Samuels was convicted of raping the teenager on January 27, 2021. He had been on trial for the offense before Justice Singh and a mixed 12-member jury. Police have said that Samuels had touched the girl inappropriately and had raped her even though she had tried to fight him off. After the ordeal, the girl confided in her mother, who in turn filed a report with the police. Samuels was subsequently arrested and charged with the crime. Senior State Counsel Tiffany Lykin and State Counsel Nafisa Baig prosecuted this matter while Samuels was represented by attorney-at-law Cleavon Humphrey. Back in 2021, Samuels was charged with stealing 66 COVID-19 vaccination cards from the Health Ministry at Brickdam, Georgetown, between August 22 and August 23, 2021. However, the following year, the charge was dismissed for want of prosecution. In another ruling by Justice Navindra Singh, Wesley Basil called Tapi, a shopkeeper who was deported to Guyana after serving time in a United States jail for a sex crime, was on Thursday given a life sentence for raping a 15-year-old girl. He also is not eligible for parole. After hours of deliberation last month, a 12-member jury had unanimously found him guilty on each of the two sexual assault charges. In December 2020, Basil had touched the girl inappropriately after she had gone to his shop to make a purchase. The following month, he dragged her to the back of his yard and raped her. Her parents found out that she had been sexually abused only after her mother had come across text messages between the girl and a friend on her cell phone. A report was filed with the police and Basil was arrested and prosecuted. Mount Sinai, a community in New Amsterdam that is popularly referred to as Angois Avenue, has seen a number of home invasions in recent times. In this report, our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael spoke with one of the victims who expressed that most of the crimes are committed by a teenage gang.
Mount Sinai is said to have more than 5,000 inhabitants, and while development is taking place in that community at a fast rate, worrying to those residents is the frequency of home invasions. Many say there is a teenage gang that is responsible for many of them. Gang members, they say, are all under the age of 15.
They're all underage, and they're going around telling them, oh, police can't lock us up because we juveniles.
That was 81-year-old Dennis Robertson, who lives at lot 1126 Broad Street, Mount Sinai. Apart from the fact that the three persons were young teenagers, Robertson has expressed concern in the way that the matter is being addressed, a concern expressed by several residents.
When I turned to see what caused the noise, three young men, youths I should say, came through the window, one after the other, held me down in the chair and started beating me all in my head, my face, and so on. They gave me a cut on my head here, cuts over my eyes, and a couple other bruises about my body. And they hit me in my forehead with a piece of wood. And in the struggle, this same bench that you're sitting on fell over. My wife was in the bedroom sleeping. When she heard the bench fall over, she came out.
Robertson said his 74-year-old wife was able to recognize two of the invaders as they made their way out of the house through a window. A report was subsequently made to Central Police Station.
The police never even came to see what went on here. They just took my report and they said they're going to look for the boys. And they went around and they apprehended one fellow. And he was questioned, and he gave him the names of the other two who were with him. You see? But these chaps are going around, they're all underage boys. One is only about 13 or 14. I want to know what kind of juveniles what are juveniles doing on the road at 3:30 in the morning? It just shows a lack of parental control. You see? Anyway, so far, it's now almost what? 3 weeks, going on 4 weeks, and I haven't heard anything more from the police.
Another resident pointed to broken glass from a window that was broken by the teens to gain entry to her son's house.
It looks as though this thing is just gone by the wayside, and I am beginning to lose faith in the police in this town.
For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
The Ministry of Labor recently conducted a one-day skills training session to educate teens and young adults who are seeking jobs more about the workforce and particularly the working environment. Tasia Dickinson has this story.
Speaking on the sidelines of the training event, Senior Recruitment Officer attached to the Labor Ministry, Audrey Kelman, noted that the training is aimed at educating job seekers to have knowledge of work ethics and more.
The outcome I expect is that they would be able to have the knowledge of preparing a resume and work ethics, and also the functions and the roles of the other departments of Ministry of Labor.
She added that these sessions were already conducted in Regions 3 and 10, and there are plans to introduce them in other regions. Meanwhile, some of the beneficiaries of the training shared how it will benefit them in the future.
I wasn't sure myself what I wanted or what I wanted to do in life. So I think this is really a good step, to help us to, develop in whatever categories or what we could do. So I think this is a great idea.
I expect to learn knowledge about the workforce and how to move forward in gaining a job and also how to start my own business. It's a very fortunate opportunity. You get to learn a lot. Like, for example, this morning I've gained a lot from Ms. Kelman and the regional chairman. So I would encourage them to come because you're learning a lot about the workforce and how to go forward.
The 25 beneficiaries of the one-day session held at the ECHO Skills Training Center on Wednesday included students who wrote this year's Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate examination and persons participating in the skills training program. The training was facilitated by the Ministry of Labor's Central Recruitment and Manpower Agency, CRMA, and its functions include registering persons seeking employment, maintaining a record of notified vacancies in the public and private sectors, matching job seekers with vacancies and arranging interviews for them, and providing career guidance and counseling for those seeking employment. Tasia Dickinson, The Evening News.
John Rudder, called Johnny Walker, a resident of Islington, Greater New Amsterdam, Berbice, became 101 years old on Wednesday. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael visited the centenarian and filed this story.
101 years for me. I am very, very proud to know that I'm alive until now without feeling a pain on my head, foot, or anybody about my body. I'm just ordinary, taking my meals regularly, quietly, satisfiedly, that I feel my strength just young again.
That was John Rudder, called Johnny Walker, speaking on the occasion of his 101st birthday on Tuesday. He expressed delight that family members and friends were around him. Formerly of the East Bank of Berbice at Cottbrot, Rudder worked as a cane harvester and planted a garden. His first wife passed away 68 years ago, but they had 6 children. 3 years after his wife's passing, Rudder remarried after a relative initiated the hookup.
He said, I have a niece. I will bring me niece for you married to she. So me tells me, say, why? He said, me shall I take you now? You seems to me like a good gentleman. I said, you can make mistake. He said, no. And in spite of the fact she did, brought her niece. When I see her niece, well, I don't hate nobody, but she was fairly favored.
Their union brought 4 children. Brother, who still has very good eyesight, reads his Bible on a daily basis. He told the Evening News of his activities during a normal day, while adding that his 95-year-old wife plays a big role in his life.
Anything the wife wants me to do, I'll do. Try my best. But I am making myself happy, visible to my age, me know. And to friends and people I know, my age, can do. I can do it.
How many people you know at your age that
Oh.
have your age? How many people you know that have your age?
That I know have my age. Well, I can only mention, I think, one person.
3 of Brother's 10 children have passed away. He currently has more than 150 grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and great-great-grands. Family members say Brother likes fresh vegetables and herbal tea. As a Seventh-day Adventist, there are many meat kinds that he does not eat. Johnny Walker also does not consume alcoholic beverages. Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
And now for a look at the Birch Reports.
The Demerara Harbor Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Friday, July 14, 2023 at 2 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Friday, July 14, 2023 at 14 hours 30, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
1 win in 5 matches for Guyana under-19 boys, and preparation underway for July 30 horse race meet at Port Morant. Details of these stories and more in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Rolling out the Turbo Hot Summer Wheels promotion. Win a brand new 2023 Honda HR-V. Plus over $3 million in weekly cash and prizes. Just grab any bottle of Turbo Energy drink, Buster or Classic, and locate the 8-digit code on the bottle. Then visit Turbo IG and Facebook at Turbo_Caribbean. For more details, conditions apply.
Knock off. The Oreos belong to us.
No, they belong to whoever finds them first.
Get your Oreo Transformers Limited Edition and awaken the beast.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.